What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 165th edition of the Sports Reality. My name is Jeremy John, aka the fourth greatest Grenadian of all time.
Perfect.
AKA the Lil Wayne of podcasts, because I will get on any podcast and hit it with the J train.
Perfect.
Let's welcome my co-host, Cousin BigThad. BigThad, what's going on with you?
Yo, what's good, man? Pretty good week, you know what I mean? I'm good. How about you?
Doing all right, man. How's work going, man?
Works good, man. You know, learning a lot. Involved in some things that I can't talk about, but it's wild. You know what I'm saying? It's real wild being this early into the mix and having some substantial stuff go on that I really can't talk about, but it's really relevant to what's been going on in our country right now. So
I'm gonna guess one of them because you didn't even tell me, so I'm gonna just guess it has something to do with ransomware. I saw something on the news this week about the Biden administration needing to do more about ransomware, so I'm assuming that is part of it.
Yes, that is part of it. I'll just say yeah. Like, it's wild because like what I do in the project I'm on right now, it's really relevant. Like, so in a sense, we do things that because how the government is, they're very reactive.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're reactive to things going on. So it's kind of funny that like the project I'm on right now, that it's really more relevant now because it's current stuff ties into our project that is more of a reactive project to other things that have been going on. So it's kind of wild. It's kind of wild that it's gonna be kind of crazy. Like, I'm gonna have to tell the family like off the side, like, what's gonna happen type deal. You know what I'm saying? But not giving away any secrets because eventually it's gonna be public record anyway. So it's kind of wild. So it's been a pretty good week, man. It's been a pretty good week. Lots of meetings that are ridiculous, but
hey,
that's just part of government life, I guess. Yeah.
Yep.
How's everything with you, man? How's your week been?
It's going all right. This is the last week of the first session for the summer.
Perfect.
So after Tuesday, I will only have one class for the remainder of the summer.
Perfect.
Okay.
Last year, what I did was I ended up lumping all three classes into the same session.
Right.
And it wasn't that any of the classes were hard. It's just you got to do the work. So I was crazy busy from the middle of June till about the middle of August, and then started right back up again like
with
the very
next
next week.
Yeah.
And it had a whole
You maybe had a week off.
I had a week off. I had a week off before I had a full semester, and then before Christmas break. But now just one class after starting next Wednesday.
Okay.
One class remaining, and then as many of you all, and we've mentioned it, just 4 more classes in the fall. And I will be done. So, yep.
Yeah, hopefully we will be walking across the stage together.
Yep.
As cousins graduating from our same institution, but our varying degree paths.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, it's gonna be dope.
Yep.
Gonna have the whole family. We're gonna have to have them like wild out. Like, they can't be all like calm and collective. They just got to be the wild black folk that everybody expects them to be.
But I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
Yep.
You know what? They really need to be. No, forget the black folk, the wild black. They need to be the Caribbean folk that we know they can be. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need to just go wild. It don't matter at this point. We're both done. So it don't matter.
Yep.
We won't have to worry about coming back. Maybe. Well, maybe for me. I think you're done. I don't think you're going.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I ain't going back to school. Nope.
Yeah.
Unless someone is paying for it completely, and it is going, and even then, I'll consider it if someone's paying for it. If I'm paying for it, nope.
Right. Now, any of our aunts and uncles listen to this at all that you know of?
I mean, sometimes I think they do. Sometimes I'm not sure.
Well, let's get this out. So, yeah, if you were listening and this is the beginning of the podcast and all that, so if you really want me to keep going on past my masters, you're paying for it. Like, I'll just call it now. You are paying for it. If you want me, and we know there's one aunt that wants me to go get my PhD, still listening, you're paying for it. I love you. I will do it just for you. Your money will be well spent.
Yep. Well, we got a lot to get into for this week's episode. We're going to get into, we're actually going to start off in something that isn't on the playing surface. Going to talk about Rachel Nichols and ESPN and the New York Times article that came out. We're also going to get into the NBA Finals. Sha'Carri Richardson. We didn't get to talk about it last week because it broke the day after we recorded. We'll also give an update on Trevor Bauer and his sexual assault allegation. There was an assassination in Haiti. And we will, for our Reddit topic of the week, talk about past and present dynamic NBA duos. So we will get into that. Just want to remind you all to subscribe to the podcast where podcasts are available. And that includes Anchor, Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn. You can also watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You can watch us if you're watching right now. Obviously, you're tuned in right now, but you can definitely go back and watch us. It'll be on our YouTube channel and Facebook page and Twitch page. Just make sure you subscribe, leave a review, pass the word so we can reach more people. Let's now get into it. It's kind of the NBA, I guess, but it's not necessarily like the NBA, but it's NBA adjacent. There was an article that came out. Go ahead, BigThad.
No, I was gonna say it's the stuff that we like. It's messy. It's messy NBA talk. You know what I'm saying?
It's an evil world we live in.
Yep, that's what we like. That's
Big
what
facts.
we
like. Big facts.
The New York Times came out with an article on Sunday morning about Rachel Nichols and ESPN and Maria Taylor. For those that don't know, Rachel Nichols is the host of the NBA Jump on ESPN. Also, she is one of the main sideline reporters for ESPN NBA games. Maria Taylor is the host of NBA Countdown, which is the pregame show before the NBA games on ESPN, and then part of the postgame show whenever time permits. She is also the sideline reporter for college football for ESPN. Now, the New York Times dropped an article on Sunday talking about Rachel Nichols. And I wish, you know what? Let me see if I had the quote up earlier. Let me just make sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Do
Jeez,
that because we don't want to, we don't want to just make up bits and pieces of the quote. We just need to have the whole quote. So
yeah, and I had it up, and of course I deleted it.
You're good. Know what I mean?
Of course I deleted it. But yeah, Rachel Nichols was doing an interview this was last year, almost a year ago, doing an interview within the NBA bubble in Florida. And she was doing an interview. They did not say in the article who she was interviewing. That's one thing they didn't say.
But
in the article,
I thought they said that. I saw something that they said it was somebody in LeBron's camp. Like
he was there.
Yes. Yeah, they're with that conversation, and that like somehow the conversation was recorded on her phone, and like it was on ESPN servers. So
Yes. So
it must have been ESPN's phone. It was her work phone for
Yes.
ESPN. That's what that was.
The device that they use, especially on remote, and I believe it's an iPad now because I listened to Dan Lebitard's show, which, by the way, after he left ESPN, I kind of forgot, and I didn't really check to see where he was. I didn't realize like he's on YouTube, and I was like, oh, now I could definitely check out his show because I love this show. It was one of the few shows that I like religiously watched or listened. But Jamel Hill was on there and Amin Al Hassan, and they had both recently worked at ESPN, and they said, well, now it's an iPad that they use for like remote interviews instead of bringing so much technology and devices. They use iPads. Well, the iPads are connected to a server back at Bristol at the headquarters at ESPN, and actually not just Bristol, but all the other places that ESPN has corporate offices in.
Right.
Well, it was either before or after the interview. Rachel Nichols is talking to Mendelsohn, which is LeBron James, one of his publicists. Mendelsohn is the last name. I can't remember the first name.
Adam
Mendelsohn.
Yeah,
Thank you, Big Thad.
Yes, sir.
So it was according to the New York Times report, Rachel Nichols did not stop recording and had a 30-minute conversation with Adam Mendelsohn talking about the plans for ESPN. So
you know what? It was a phone call between them two. That's what it was. It was a phone call, and somehow she was recording the phone call. I didn't know you could record phone calls.
Well, no, it wasn't a phone. You're seeing that in the report?
Yeah, I'm seeing phone call. But then again, you know what? You know how reporters are. So I'm saying,
because Mendelsohn, they said, was in the room.
Oh, see, there you go. Black Twitter getting it wrong again.
Yeah, Mendelsohn is in the room. I have the New York Times report.
See, there you
now.
go. See, that's why you can't read articles from Black Twitter.
Nah,
you try to get me involved with Black Twitter.
Don't blame Black Twitter on that. You went to the wrong user. That's all. Don't blame Black Twitter for that one. But anyways, so Adam Mendelsohn's in the room, and they're talking about the plans for ESPN according to Rachel Nichols. So Rachel Nichols tells Adam Mendelsohn that ESPN execs from ESPN approached her and said, hey, timeline, it was last year in the bubble.
Right.
We're just coming off of the murder of George Floyd, and it was actually either right around the time you had Jacob Blake. Racial reckoning in the United States going on last summer. Right. The corporations are putting up their Black Lives Matter slogans, their We Stand With You slogans, everything.
They're going full heavy into we need diversity everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the execs from ESPN approached Rachel Nichols, who was the lead or at the time, the lead host of NBA Countdown, and said, hey, with everything going on, and this is according to Rachel Nichols. Right. She's talking to Adam Mendelsohn. With everything going on, we need to have more diversity, and we're going to move you, and we're going to make Maria Taylor the lead or the host of NBA Countdown. Well, this is what was recorded, and this is what was recorded in that 30-minute. This is a snippet of the 30-minute conversation. Rachel Nichols says, I wish Maria Taylor all the success in the world. She covers football. She covers basketball. If you need to give her more things to do because you are feeling pressured about your crappy long-time record on diversity, which, by the way, I know personally from the female side of it, go for it. Just find it somewhere else. You're not going to find it with me or taking my thing away. So that was part of the conversation that the New York Times released in their report. Now, that 30-minute conversation went back to ESPN on their server.
Yep.
And
that's what happens when you do stuff on enterprise phones.
Yes. And
this is how you know people don't know anything about IT, yo.
Yeah. That's one thing. Someone told me they got a work phone and they just were like, when they get off when it comes to the weekend or they're off the clock, the phone just turns off.
Facts.
And they said even with the phone turned off, they're kind of like, yeah, I don't do and say certain things.
Right. No.
I know someone that literally stashes it in a specific location where there's not a lot of conversation. In that room.
Right. No.
Like they put it in that room and there is barely conversation in that room. And then when it's time for work, they go get that phone. Well, a lot of people from ESPN heard the conversation. And there was one producer by the name of Kayla Johnson who worked closely with Maria Taylor, who recorded the conversation with Rachel Nichols and Mendelsohn and sent it to Maria Taylor as a heads up to see what's going on with one of her colleagues. Now, Kayla Johnson was suspended for 2 weeks because of it without pay. What ESPN decided to do with the situation was they decided to have, okay, we're going to have Rachel Nichols and Maria Taylor host NBA Countdown together. Maria Taylor said, no, I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to be on the same set with her because obviously what she said. Also, some of the other hosts like Jay Williams and Jalen Rose, they voiced their frustration, according to the New York Times report, with Rachel Nichols for what she said.
Right.
ESPN still decided, okay, well, Rachel's still going to be part of it. What we're going to do is some of the show we're going to actually pre-record. And then in between segments, we're going to have a segment where you can basically Maria Taylor is the lead. And then there's going to be a segment where Rachel Nichols is the lead.
ESPN doing too much.
And looking back, I'm kind of like, you know what, that I remember like certain things like that.
Right.
Because I wouldn't fully be paying attention to NBA Countdown.
Right.
I would see like Maria Taylor, there'll be a commercial break, and then I'll see Rachel Nichols. And I'm like, well, where was she? Like
where'd she come up? Where'd she come from?
And it's just like all of a sudden you can. So now with this report, it makes total sense to me that occurred. Got so bad that they decided to do that. Well, the report came out, like I said earlier, it came out on Sunday morning, 2 days before the NBA Finals. And Twitter and social media went abuzz. Everyone was waiting for Monday. It was like, what's going to happen with Rachel Nichols? Because the NBA Jump is going to come on Monday.
Right.
And they're going to be in Phoenix for the NBA Finals. And it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens. She issues an apology, like a 15-second apology. I don't want to be part of the main story, but a report came out about me, and I'm deeply sorry for what was said. Blah blah blah. Then Richard Jefferson and Kendrick Perkins end up like trying to do like a character like assessment of her, like, we're gonna work through this, and Rachel's a great person, and so is Maria Taylor, blah blah blah. See, all of that happened.
That's the first thing they did wrong, was let Kendrick do anything. Like it's Kendrick. Yeah. He's terrible. He's just terrible. I don't know how he has a job. I don't get that. But anyways, go ahead.
So all of that happened. ESPN saw the backlash on social media, decided to remove Rachel Nichols from the sideline reporting for this year's finals because of everything going on. Decided to put Malika Andrews. Now, I might have seen something, and I'm going to try and find that. But before I get to that, let's get to everything that's going on.
Okay, let's do it.
If you read the entire New York Times article, Rachel Nichols never says ESPN told her, like, flat out, like explicitly, that they wanted to make Maria Taylor the host for diversity purposes. She says she feels that ESPN is doing that. So let's just put that caveat out there.
Right.
When you heard the comments, Big Thad, what did you think?
I mean, it was kind of weird because she kind of like contradicted herself a little bit, because she was like, she talked about, ESPN feeling, past issues with diversity, whatnot, and from the women's side. But then again, I'm like, well, she's a woman. She's another woman. Yes, I understand she's a black woman, but she's another woman. So you still got that side of it. You know what I'm saying? But it was kind of weird because you hear them talk about, I'm kind of tired of the Me Too.
I forgot to get to that.
Movement
explain that, Big Thad. Explain that. I forgot.
So in that conversation, it was talk of, what I'm saying, with everything going on, and they're in the bubble, mind you, and they were like, it's so crazy. I'm so tired of this Me Too movement and this Black Lives Matters movement and whatever other movement that's going on. Like, they're, I'm just tired of it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wow. It's like, you're part of that Me Too movement, Rachel. Like, regardless of how you want to see it, you are literally part of the Me Too movement. Just because you're a white woman doesn't mean that you're not part of that movement, because in many ways, and all, I don't know her history, whatever, but by all means, you deserve to be in the position that you're in right now. But if you bring this back a couple years, you can also say that they put you on because of diversity also.
Perfect.
You know what I'm saying? That's what that Me Too movement has been about from the jump, was creating more opportunities. Just like the Black Lives Matter movement, is about creating more opportunities for everybody. And, and just deserving positions for some, you know what I'm saying? So for you to say, I'm so tired of it and I'm not going to be a part of that, you're already a part of that, regardless if you want to be a part of it or not, because you're in the position that you are. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of wild to me, man. It's people getting caught saying whatever, and they're just like, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean what I meant. I'm not that person. I'm not that person. But you said it, so you are that person. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that gets me on. Like, I'm totally not that person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that person at all. But you said it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. Especially, the whole thing. Like, if you're drunk, you speak the truth. Or you're on drugs, you speak the truth. So that's you, it's just you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we don't care. Like, be honest, we don't care what you say. But we'll rather have you say it to us in our face than to say it on the background. You know what I'm saying?
Perfect.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. So I'm glad you brought up the part of the comment that she said, or they said, because it was both her and Adam Mendelsohn voicing their frustrations with the Me Too movement and the Black Lives Matter
and agreeing to it,
and agreeing to
that
it.
They both agree on it. Yeah.
Yes. So before I even get to that comment, on the surface, Rachel Nichols' comments aren't that bad.
Yeah, aren't that
because
bad at all.
The thing is, according to Rachel Nichols and her perspective, they're taking her job away to give to someone else. A job that she earned, a job that she was hired for, a job that she was giving a contract for. And then it's just like, yeah, we're about to just give it to someone else. On the surface, I can understand why you're frustrated. My issue comes in, and it typically happens in the workplace a lot.
Right.
You end up hearing white people
Yeah.
basically questioning why a person of color is in the position that they're in. Happens a lot.
Right.
And a lot of
But
times
I wouldn't say she questioned it so, but her attitude kind of
the attitude
kind of pushed it. You know what I'm saying? Like she didn't really question why this other person was getting it, but her attitude was
and
more
tone,
the kicker, and the tone was more, like why there's no why. You know what I'm saying? But I understand, she's very successful and does a very good job and yada yada yada. So
yeah, for me, and I would have played the clip, but we're not trying to get the stream shut down. Certain things is hit and miss with the stream. So
YouTube and Facebook, it's kind of sketchy sometimes.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to even get it shut down. But if you go back and listen to her tone when she says that quote, it's like, that seems like that's rooted in something else than more than I'm just being replaced.
Right. I feel
So on the surface, that's why. So yeah, I can understand where she might feel that way, but it was more the tone and the attitude, like you said. Also, what really rubbed me the wrong way were the comments about the Me Too era and Black Lives Matter, because Rachel Nichols on the NBA Jump literally every day while in the bubble was out there, reporting about the injustices and actually giving her own opinion about how she felt and actually saying, I'm there with solidarity. Look, I understand there are producers at ESPN. Look, these people do not have 100% full range to say and do what they want. But you can easily report without giving your opinion. You can be a journalist.
Right.
And just report what's going on, what people are saying, what people are thinking within the bubble, outside the bubble, on the basketball court, within, pop culture and just what's going on in society.
Right.
But she became a columnist on those shows and added her opinion. And then when you hear where she says, I'm tired of it, to me, it's like you're a fraud.
Yeah, I feel you.
You were just doing that for clout, doing that so you didn't, so you didn't get the title of a racist.
Yeah.
Now, obviously,
we're not calling her a racist, y'all. We're not calling her a racist right now. Right now, we're not. Right now.
I would say this, and I said the same thing last week about Phil Jackson.
Okay. So, Cousin BigThad is not calling her a racist right now.
I would say this: she is racist by omission, by the way, the attitude, the way she, the attitude more, how she feels about how things are in the workplace, in society, and things like that. If you ask
I need a
her,
little bit more. I need a little bit more.
For me, it's enough. I'm just like, you've already shown your colors.
But you know what I'm saying? But Black Twitter said that her and
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
So I can't. That's all I'm saying. I need a little bit more, man. A little bit more to call her racist. You know what I'm saying? Right now, like I understand. You know what I'm saying? I do understand. I'm like, she is part of the Me Too movement, regardless if she feels she is or not. Because there's some that they get in these positions and they feel that they weren't given, how can I say, an extra advantage to get in that position. You know what I'm saying? But it's a Me Too movement. Like, a lot of these women that are very good at their jobs are in those jobs because of the Me Too movement and the need for diversity. So you can't, it's almost like, yo, just be real with it. You know what I'm saying? Take it. Own it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. Just own it. If you got your job because of diversity reasons or whatever, own it. Okay, yeah. I got it because of it. Because it was needed to be done. Like, yes, it sucks that maybe I overpassed somebody else that could possibly do the job better than me. But hey, It is what it is. They put me in this position. They needed it, whatever. Own it. Forget. It is what it is. It's not saying that you don't deserve the job. There might be somebody that maybe more experienced than you know what I'm saying, and could have been a better candidate, but it is just what it was. You know what I'm saying? And that's on the female side, the white or black side, whatever, however you want to see it when it comes to diverse stuff. You know what I'm saying? So just own it. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather you just be honest and say how you feel, man, before you start hiding stuff. And like this whole her being sorry, I'm like, I almost kind of was like, what are you being sorry about? You were being honest about how you felt. You're saying sorry more because people heard it. You know what I'm saying? And how they heard it, you know what I'm saying? But that's your own doing because you did it on an ESPN device. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going back. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, come on. It is what it is.
Now, ESPN should have fired her for that comment when it happened last year. Because at the end of the day, you know that if you had an issue with your supervisor
right
at your job, okay, and before anyone gets to it, they'll say, well, you know, Dad's job is not the same as what Rachel Nichols is doing. Yes, it is, actually. It actually is. It actually like is. It is a lot closer. Your job is a lot closer to what Rachel Nichols is doing for ESPN. Right. She's not an athlete.
Right.
Like, she's not an athlete. So her standards and regulations are very similar to what the everyday person does.
Yeah, because you're representing the organization that you work for. Plain and simple.
So if BigThad said, yeah, man, my supervisor, man, he don't know what he doing or she is doing, and they're about to remove me or replace me or just transfer me or move change my description to give to someone else, and you know they don't know what they're talking about, and they're only doing this for diversity and man, whatever. If you said that and your supervisor literally heard you say that,
oh, I'd be gone, son.
You would be fired on the spot.
By far. I'll be gone.
And that will happen anywhere in America. You could be working at a fast food restaurant, and if your supervisor hears that, you're gone. Yeah. ESPN should have fired her as soon as it hit the server and people heard.
Yeah, because I mean, that was a year ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, why now? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. This is my thing with ESPN.
Why coming up to the finals? Now we're talking about this. You know what I'm saying?
The story comes out. Now they're talking about and then they replace her. You know, for game 1. Apparently, she's back for game 2, according to sources. We'll see when the game comes on later tonight.
Because it's both sides, man. See, now you gotta realize now it's both sides of the fence now. So you got Me Too, you got Black Lives. So now you got both sides of the fence here. Like, you can't take away a female job. You know what I'm saying? Then, well, you can't do this, but she said this about the black folks and blah, 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 blah. So ESPN don't know what to do right now. So.
Exactly. That's what it is. ESPN doesn't know
and
what to do.
They did it to themselves.
Very reactive. Very reactive. One thing that was mentioned in the story was when some of her co-hosts, Rachel Nichols' co-hosts, had heard the recording, they were upset with her. And I mentioned Jay Williams, Jalen Rose, even Kendra Perkins. It said in the article they were upset with her. Well, Adrian Wojnarowski, I almost had a mental. Yes, he even was upset. Like, yo, she's not a team player. Well, on Dan Lebertard's show the other day, Amin Al Hassan said that was total quote. He said, are you effing shitting me, Woj? Like, you of all people are talking about Rachel Nichols basically trying to stop someone from growing when you have done it to literally almost every newsbreaker, and he said newsbreakers with an
Oh,
S. That's what he said.
wow.
That wanted to grow in the company.
Right.
He said, and then they mentioned how a lot of times Woj, and I've seen it, but I've seen it because we know Woodward and Woodward and Bernstein. I can't remember which one.
Right.
With the whole thing with Watergate, it was two journalists
Yeah.
that worked on that. So it's normal to see two journalists on a report.
Right.
ESPN does it all the time too. It'll say Woj and someone else broke the news from ESPN or wrote this article for ESPN. Right. Well, Amina Hassan said, yeah, they just put Woj's name on there. Woj puts his name on there for a lot of those.
What?
So he was like, nah, man,
wow.
You of all people should not be talking about Rachel Nichols not being a team player.
It's an evil world we live in.
Hilarious.
Jamel Hill even spoke about her in her examples or her experience at ESPN on a podcast, so make sure you check it out. Yes, and now back to Rachel Nichols real quick. Now that we heard about it, I'm kind of like, why ESPN even do anything? Like they were reactive.
Yeah. I mean,
very reactive.
It's too late to fire her now.
Yeah, so you can't do it now.
It's too late
because legally she could just be like, for real.
Right. What's happened? You know what I'm saying? But then again, they might feel that cancel culture, but they can't. But see, that's the thing. I don't think they can fire because even with cancel culture, she didn't go overboard to an extent. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think she went overboard, but the longer you go away from it, they try to help her and be part of it instead of saying, hey, Rachel, you're in the wrong.
Right.
They were like, okay, you feel this way. Well, let's try and combine your duties. That's my problem.
Yeah.
Now
they went about everything wrong altogether.
Maria Taylor, by the way, we didn't get to mention this. She's great at what she does. But her contract is ending like soon, like next week, I think.
You know what? I think this is why it came out.
Yep. And you know why it came out?
This is exactly why it came out.
You know why it came out? Because last week there were reports that Maria Taylor was demanding as much as $5 million a year. So the playbook. Your contract's up. We're gonna leak how much you asked for.
Right.
So
I'm gonna ask for even more. Like, what?
Yeah. So whoever was working on this, and let me bring up the name of the writer of the article. I have the article up still. I'm surprised. Kevin Draper or Draper.
You're right.
And whoever else worked with Kevin, they might have been working on the article for a while. But it's quite possible, especially after my journalism class, it's quite possible that he could have just written this in a day or two because he had the information and he just had to write it.
It was just perfect timing.
And it's just like, oh, y'all gonna say this about Maria Taylor? That she's out here wanting money, more money than she deserves. A source from ESPN could have just been like, oh, here you go. Here you go.
Right off the server. And it was
written
over. That's how they got it. Right off the server. Right to the email. It's like, to anyone at New York Post, here you go.
Yep.
Times or whatever.
So then Black Twitter, still with Rachel Nichols.
Oh, man. Black Twitter. Here we go.
Rumors started about Rachel Nichols and her relationship with, and actually before I even get to that.
Oh, jeez.
Adam Mendelsohn.
Killing me.
We know. Yeah, I know. We know he's a publicist for LeBron James.
Is he a publicist or is he an advisor for?
He's a PR, so not necessarily publicist, a PR advisor for LeBron James.
Okay. Yeah.
And
for you to even be that close to LeBron, like, and to say that stuff, like, kind of messy. But
my thing with that is we now know, obviously, ESPN is really in bed with LeBron James. And when you go back and look, you're like, hold on, Rachel Nichols is usually getting some exclusives from him. You know, when it comes to ESPN, LeBron does not sit down with anyone except Rachel Nichols.
Yeah.
When it comes to sitting down and having conversations, you know, and that could be a reason why ESPN said, you know, we can't really fire Rachel Nichols because we don't have the in with LeBron James.
Right.
And then when you think about all the times that ESPN brings up LeBron James for no reason, you're kind of like, I understand LeBron James is a moneymaker, but jeez.
Right.
We hear, and we were talking about it on Clubhouse. And
a lot of that had to do with Skip too, though.
Yep,
Skip
and we spoke
ESPN.
about that.
Yeah.
A lot of people said Skip Bayless basically found a niche and was like, I'm going to profit off of LeBron James.
Right.
Just hating on him.
I'm gonna hate LeBron every
And it started a whole culture. Like the debate style for sports
Right.
just blew up where every show is a debate show now.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's why ESPN also didn't fire Rachel Nichols, because they were like, we have an in with LeBron James.
Right.
We can't mess this up at all. So yeah, man, I think that's the reason why. Now, Black Twitter, they mentioned, or Black Twitter, there's rumors going around because Rachel Nichols is also really close with Jimmy Butler. Especially during the bubble, they did a lot of interviews. Even before the bubble on the NBA Jump, Jimmy Butler was on the show a lot. And as an all-star player, to be on the show that many times during the season, it means that, okay, you're cool with the crew. You know, the NBA Jump, they get NBA players, star players, but not as often as someone like Jimmy Butler. He was quite a regular. Well, there was a rumor that started on Black Twitter about Rachel Nichols sleeping with Jimmy Butler in the NBA bubble. And then the jokes started flying. And, you know, some people try to use that as, oh man, you know, Rachel Nichols can't be racist because she's out here sleeping with Jimmy Butler. And I'm just like, jeez, this has gotten so messy.
It's an evil world we live in.
Let me just put this out here. I do not believe Rachel Nichols and Jimmy Butler had something going on.
I mean, they might have. You know what I'm saying?
I do not believe it, nor am I going to spread that rumor. I'm just going to report that there was a rumor. I don't want anyone coming to me saying I'm disparaging a woman and da. Nope.
Hey, we already told you where it came from. It came straight from Black Twitter.
Came from Black Twitter, but morphed into Twitter. It became Twitter.
Yo. I mean, they were in the bubble together, quarantine. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of
it's a lot of time. A lot of time.
There was one tweet where someone said, "Man, Jimmy did get a knock on his door for dribbling." They said it was dribbling a basketball late at night, and that they did this. They put up this meme. They're just like,
man.
So I'm just reporting what people are saying.
Man.
For the record, I do not believe. I think that's just someone being opportunistic to start a rumor about her.
Nah, I say it. They probably did. Because we ain't never seen Jimmy with a wife or nothing like that. I don't think.
People even said Jimmy went off in the bubble.
He did.
They said maybe that was what got him motivated.
Yeah.
Unlike some other players to get the Miami Heat through to the NBA Finals, blah, blah, blah. We are 44 minutes into the episode, and we're just
only talking about Rachel Nichols.
Yeah, we're just getting to the NBA Finals. Game 1 occurred. Look,
Yes, sir.
the Suns won, and they won big. Giannis Antetokounmpo, though, did play Game 1. Based on what you saw in Game 1 with Giannis Antetokounmpo, do you think he should be good the rest of the way?
I think he should. I mean, that game, he looked decent, but, you know, me with a guy that's had a hyperextended knee before, you know what I'm saying? Like, and especially with no damage, like, that first game coming back, it's going to be a little tough. But, I mean, he still had a decent game, even though, you know, he's not 100% yet. I think this game is going to be a little bit better with his movement and everything like that. So he might be feeling a little bit better. Should be all right. He's not this game. He probably won't even really think about it because you come off an injury, you're gonna start thinking about, is this gonna happen again? You know what I'm saying? Am I gonna hurt my knee? Something happens, so you kind of move a little different. But I think this game is gonna be a little bit out of his mind. He's not gonna be thinking about it as much. His point production should be a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, I think he should be all right. But I don't think that's the problem. That's not the problem I see with them, especially with game one with the Suns, man. That's not the problem.
What's the problem that you see with them?
Pick and roll. I think pick and roll is their big issue, and they need to figure it out because Robin Lopez, though he needs to be on the floor, he can't be the one. He can't be the one staying on that point guard, man. Perfect. And the thing is, they saw this in their first series. Milwaukee's first series. They saw this. You know what I'm saying? But they made some changes, but for some reason they went back to it again. And the thing is with me is first of all, it's now Chris Paul, Booker, and Ayton. All three of them are quicker than Lopez. All three of them. I don't care how tall, small they are. They're all quicker than Lopez. But him picking up and not falling back, it's so weird to me. I don't understand why they keep letting that happen. And it's happened so many times, but now it kicked them in the ass this time because it was happening.
Giannis Antetokounmpo had 20 points, 17 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Chris Middleton had 29.7 rebounds, 4 assists on 5 of 12 shooting. On 12 of 26 shooting. Giannis was 6 for 11 from the field. Brook Lopez had 17.6 rebounds, 1 assist. Drew Holiday had 10.7 rebounds, 9 assists.
He needs more than that. He needs to be just as aggressive as he was the past, 3 games?
Mm-hmm.
He needs to still be that aggressive. You can't go back to sitting back again.
The thing about it is, I
understand Giannis is back, but still, he still needs to be aggressive. That's Budenholzer or whatever his name is. Is that the coach's name?
Yeah, Budenholzer.
Budenholzer. I'm surprised I got that right. He needs to coach them and get them back to that same. You should be able to still play the same, even with Giannis being out on the floor.
That's my thing, and I'm gonna have to put it on Budenholzer because we've seen this for years now. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter who's there. If it's Malcolm Brogdon or Eric Bledsoe or Drew Holiday as the third option.
Right.
The same thing happened. Third option is just there on the floor. So I'm putting this on Budenholzer. I cannot put this on Giannis just simply being on the floor and handling the ball. Let's get to the Suns real quick. Chris Paul had 32 points, 9 assists, 4 rebounds. DeAndre Ayton, 22 points, 19 rebounds. And Devin Booker had 27 points, and he had a bad shooting night. 8 for 21 from the field, 1 for 8 from 3, but he was 10 for 10 from the free throw line.
Mm-hmm. Being aggressive. Mm-hmm. Being aggressive.
Cam Johnson had 10.
What's up with Chris Paul, son? Who is this guy?
I mean, it's Chris Paul.
He's on a mission.
This is the Chris Paul of
that we've been waiting for the longest time.
I wouldn't even say waiting for. This is the Chris Paul that's been doing it. It's just he's had some fluke issues. Let's be real. They were 1 win away from beating the Warriors that had Kevin Durant.
No, I feel you on that.
So but he was doing it.
But the thing is, he wasn't scoring 30 some odd points a game.
He went back to New Orleans. That's what he said.
Yo, I'm like, what? I thought with Booker coming back, it would have went down. And next thing you know, I'm hearing Monty's like, yo, just let him orchestrate.
Yeah, man.
When he has the ball, just let him do what he do.
Listen to the stat line real quick. Jay Crowder had the best plus minus of any player on game 1. Plus 19 points.
Whew.
Do you know how many points he scored?
No.
1.
Damn.
shows you how well him and the team are playing defense while he's out there.
Yeah.
And that's what you need on a championship run.
That's true.
That is what you need on a championship run. All right, Big Thad, before we get out of here or get out of this segment, Game 2 is tonight, starting approximately an hour and 15 minutes from now. Who do you think is going to win Game 2?
It's going to be tough, bro. I think Milwaukee plays a better game. It's going to be a lot closer game. But I'm still going to say Suns win Game 2.
I'm going with you also. It's going to be a more competitive game, but Suns win Game 2. Now, who do you think is going to win the NBA Finals? Because we didn't have a chance to preview it. Who do you think is going to win the NBA Finals?
Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to go with Suns, man. The only reason I say I wouldn't say Milwaukee is because the way Chris Paul is playing. Mm-hmm. Be honest with you. The way he's playing, he's on a mission to win this ship. He's there. He's that close to finally winning one with a team that we never thought he would ever win a championship with. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's all in the hands of Chris Paul. If for some reason Chris Paul goes down, Milwaukee in 6.
I think ultimately,
for whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like if for something happens to Chris Paul, Milwaukee wins. I think he's the gatekeeper. Chris Paul is the gatekeeper to Milwaukee winning a championship.
I think Suns will win, but I think it's going to go 7.
Okay.
I do think it's going to go 7. I think Milwaukee's definitely going to win the first 2 games in Milwaukee.
Okay.
And I think that's what's going to happen. Milwaukee, you're going to get those extra days of rest in between. So let me double check real quick. I think Game 3 is going to be on Sunday. You get that extra day and I'm going to double check the schedule because the schedule is all out of whack with everything going on. I honestly thought Game 1 was starting. I don't know why. I guess dealing with the Olympics and stuff like that, they really just want to get things over with. I'm shocked they didn't just start the series tonight, but
right.
So Game 3 is on Sunday. Game 4 is on Wednesday. So then they're going to then Game 5, if necessary, will be next Saturday.
What?
So these breaks, yes, because they
because
give the extra
travel?
day for travel.
Okay,
so you get the 2 days, but then the extra, they mean 3.
So wait. So Game 3 is Sunday.
Game 3 is Sunday.
Then Game 4 is Wednesday?
Wednesday. Yes. Instead of 2 days, you get,
why? Yeah, but they're both in Milwaukee, right?
Yeah, I know that's weird, but
Yeah, why did
well, no,
I would think it'd be Sunday
they started
and
doing
Tuesday.
that the last few years. I don't know if you noticed. So the last 4 years, it'll start on a Thursday, then Sunday's Game 2, then Game 3 is on Wednesday, but then Game 4 will be on Friday. So you have a point there. But I think it's just because they didn't really give them the break in the beginning, so they're giving them in the middle. Yeah. Then Game 5, if necessary, will end up being Monday. Jeez. Game 6, if necessary, will end up being Thursday. And then if there was a Game 7, it will be on Sunday. When you start getting
literally
the
finals is going to be 2 weeks long.
More than 2 weeks.
Like more than 2 weeks long.
Yeah,
it's
now it's more than 2 weeks. It used to be exactly 2 weeks if you had 7 games.
Jeez.
But yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because it used to be like a day in between home games. Mm-hmm. But it'll be 2 days between because of travel. You know what I'm saying? So, jeez, that's crazy. Yeah, it'd be 14 days. So yeah, it'd be 2 weeks for the playoffs. But this one's damn near 3 weeks long for the finals. They really trying to get that money, huh?
Yeah. Other news in the NBA before we get out of this segment: James Harden was stopped by French police today. French police pulled over a vehicle and smelled marijuana.
Jeez.
and he was not arrested, but Lil Baby was arrested.
Jesus.
And
Wait. I thought James Harden was gonna be on the Olympic team. Did he give up on
No,
it?
I don't think he's gonna be on the Olympic team.
No. Never mind. He said he was gonna do it, and then he pulled out. My bad.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember them saying,
Because I was like, oh, him and KD. Okay, I mean, I could deal with it, but that's weird.
Yep. I'll say this: this is not a good look for James Harden. This is a second incident where he's with Lil Baby, and earlier it was in the club without a mask during where some people could say peak pandemic.
Right.
You know, and then came into camp out of shape, blah blah blah. Now this is Lil Baby getting arrested, and you being there also. You know,
you in Europe, Delta variant. You know what I'm
exactly,
saying?
Delta variant in Europe.
Maybe he's vaccinated. I mean, but yeah,
still, man,
you
it's
doing
not a
too
good
much,
look.
James Harden.
It's not a
Is
good
James
look.
Harden not married or something? Is that what it is?
Nah, he doesn't have a known girlfriend.
See, that's what it is, yo. See, you don't have nothing about to go back to rest and relax. You know what I'm saying? Now he's hanging out with Lil Baby.
Yep. Let's now get into the NFL.
We have NFL news. Wow.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is sitting here like, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna come back. I don't know.
Come on, son. Dog, just do the COVID.
Well, that deadline passed.
Yeah, I know. That was last Thursday. It's like, come on, son. You should have just did the COVID opt out. You still get paid. You don't play for a season. If you have any injury issues, you could rest and relax. And I mean, you could throw the football around with Tom Brady on a golf trip.
Yep.
And then, just come back or have them trade you finally. But no, I'm not sure. I don't know what I want to do.
Oh man.
Go be on Jeopardy for a year. I'm cool with it.
Other news in the NFL, N'Keal Harry is, according to sources, requesting a trade.
Come on,
from New England.
Come on, bro. You've been injured since you got drafted. How are you requesting a trade?
That's what I'm sitting there like, bro. What? Like, have you
haven't
done
shown,
enough to request a trade?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you haven't showed nothing to even want another team to come get you. Like,
he was drafted in the first round a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
Was expected to be the next guy. He was really good in college.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. But he got hurt.
He got hurt and then just was real inconsistent even when he was on the field. It didn't work well with Tom Brady. It didn't work well with Cam Newton. And according to sources, he is asking for a trade. And look, a new scenery could help. I'm not going to sit here and act like it can't.
You're right.
It could be what gets some focus again. Like, yo, if I get out of here, I know that I'm one step closer to being out of the league after this. But, it just still doesn't look good when you haven't performed well yourself.
Now, would you rather request a trade or request a release? I'm thinking trade because it forces a team to get you.
Yeah.
But then again, on the other side, they could just trade for you and then release you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dirty game. It's
like, what are you getting for N'Keal Harry? Like, what are you getting in a trade for him?
At this point, because of his performance, what, a fifth or sixth?
I mean, it is the Patriots. A 5th or 6th round pick would be.
It will be beneficial to them.
It would be beneficial to them for sure. For sure,
be beneficial.
Now, if it was us, the football team, I don't know. 5th or 6th round pick. I don't know if it would be helpful. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. Well, no, I guess with with our new coach, though, it might be a little bit different.
Nothing has come out of Washington Park out in Ashburn over the week, so we're not going to even talk about your favorite team.
We're supposed to be getting new field turf.
Yeah, about 10 years
I mean,
late.
right.
You
Yeah,
would have saved
didn't you see?
RG3's career if you had an
Not
actual
really.
decent
Not
turf.
really. Not really.
Come on, man.
No. He was
Or more
good.
importantly, you would have saved his career if you didn't put him back in the game after being up 14. You should have just
Yeah.
should have just been like, look, he's hurt. We can't have him out there.
Right.
If we lose, we lose. You end up injuring him, and then you lose the game anyway.
Right. Oh, jeez.
Oh man. But real quick, the Dallas Cowboys.
They are the Dallas Cowboys, America's team.
They will be on HBO's Hard Knocks this year. And even
Is your man ready?
Oh, of course he's ready.
Is he ready?
He's ready. I didn't watch last year's Hard Knocks because the year before it was so bad. I was like, it's getting worse and worse every year.
Who was it?
Last year was the Chargers and Rams because they were moving into the new stadium, so they had both of them. And mind you, the Rams were just on like 2 years prior, 3 years prior. I was like, why do I want to see them again? The Cowboys, this is their third time on Hard Knocks. They were the second team to be on there back in 2001. Then they were on there in 2008. And then now for this season, only because of the Cowboys, I'll watch. And if it's bad, after a couple episodes, I'm not going to watch. But HBO's been pretty bad with the storylines and stuff like that.
They need to have Disney do it.
They need to look. Amazon does a very good job with the all or nothing because they actually follow them the whole year.
Oh, okay.
And then more importantly, you never know who the team is until after it happens. That's the beauty of it. The Cowboys were on all or nothing, but those were a lot better. The Cardinals were the first team, then I believe the Rams, then the Cowboys, then the Panthers, and then the Eagles. And all of them are better than any Hard Knocks out there because you actually see them during the regular season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they go through the entire year. So it's not just preseason. It's not just guys trying to make the team.
Right.
They have more storylines. Like, so that's better. So Amazon really does a really good job with that. Also, they have more. Like they have all or nothing. Like soccer. Like that's where I saw Manchester City. They have one. They had one with Brazil's national team. They have one with New Zealand's rugby team.
Okay.
There is one.
Yeah, they're legit. They're legit too.
There's one with University of Michigan football. So yeah, they do a lot better job. A lot better job handling that. Let's now get into Major League Baseball. There's an update with Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer was put on a 7-day administrative leave for the allegations of sexual assault. And that was after obviously we recorded last week. So he missed the start on Sunday. Today, Major League Baseball extended the administrative leave for another week as they continue the investigation. So that is the update with Trevor Bauer. Also, the Home Run Derby. You ready for the Home Run Derby?
No, I didn't even realize it was around this time. That's wild.
All-Star game.
I haven't really been paying attention to baseball because my team sucks. So,
well, that is.
I mean, we got like 2 decent players, but that's about it.
Well, one of them is in the Home Run Derby. Trey Mancini.
Yeah, cancer survivor.
Why'd you say it like that?
No, I'm just saying he's a cancer survivor. That's like last season he was going through cancer.
Yeah, I know.
All last season, but yeah, my bad. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. I'm sorry. I'm like, what is he talking about? Like,
you sounded like Rachel Nichols. Oh, cancer survivor. Now he's a participant in the Home Run Derby.
Right. My bad. No. I'm just, it's been a long day. Shout out, Trey Mancini. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying?
Local so the participants are Shohei Ohtani of the I was about to say California Angels, the
Los
Anaheim,
Angeles.
the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. You know
Right.
we're older when we say California Angels because
Yeah,
we
yeah,
definitely remember them with that name. Pete Alonso of the New York Mets, Trevor Story of the Colorado Rockies, Trey Mancini of the Baltimore Orioles, Salvador Perez of the Kansas City Royals, Matt Olson of the Oakland Athletics, Juan Soto of the Washington Nationals, and Joey Gallo of the Texas Rangers are your participants
Okay.
for
Okay.
the home run derby. Who do you think is going to win? Just off of that.
Man, just off of that, I'm gonna just go with Otani, son. I'm gonna just go with
Otani's
Otani and see what happens.
Killing. I definitely criticized him not last year, the year before when he just kept on getting injured. I'm like, yo, this dude cannot handle the rigors of Major League Baseball. And this season, killing. I think 32 home runs
Yeah, 32
for
so
the
far.
All-Star break, and also
Yeah.
playing catcher at a decent level. You know, man, that he's playing pretty well. Let's now get to our quick hitters. Talk about EuroCup.
Yeah,
You've been following EuroCup?
of course, for the Queen, sir, for the Queen. That's for our British family.
England won yesterday against Denmark.
Yeah. Oh, there's have you heard the storyline with that now too?
I think so, but go ahead.
They're UEFA is putting up charges against England because of their fans. You know, just how the fans have been reacting to like Denmark's national anthem, throwing of stuff. They even shot a laser at the goalkeeper. It kind of like hit him on his cheek. And like right after that was the goal that was scored.
He
by
did
Kane.
stop the initial
He stopped the initial
attempt, but
yeah, the
Kane then
rebound.
got the rebound and
Yeah.
scored. But yeah, I did see that. There was a questionable call, and I have it up here, so I'll definitely try to show it for you all. There was a penalty called in extra time against Denmark, and BigThad, what were your thoughts when you saw that penalty?
It definitely went. It just went to England's favor. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the home thing. You know how we talk about the NBA, how the superstars get calls. It's like the home team got the call on this one. You know what I'm saying? They're in England. You know what I'm saying? It's EuroCup. England got the call on that one, but I don't think that call should have been made by any means.
I think it was way. This is the thing, and I this is not an original thought, but they mentioned it on ESPN. They said, I think it what's one of the lead soccer or football analysts? Twellman, is it Twellman?
Yeah, not Taylor Twellman, but he used to play for US.
Yes, he said the referee became the basically who ultimately dictated how the game went. He said easily VAR could have signaled them right after that and said, "Hey, we need to review this to see if it's really a penalty."
It is Taylor Twellman.
Okay. And he said VRA could have definitely would have answered that question. Was it a penalty? And I feel like in extra time in a EuroCup game, that was too minor for me to call a penalty on.
Right.
Too minor for me to be like, all right, we're about to set them up for a goal to win the match. No, too minor. So I understand why Denmark fans and also just fans of soccer might feel that, England was given that goal pretty much. Also, I didn't know this, but I guess most of the games England played ended up being in England.
Yeah. Because of where they were in their bracket.
Okay.
So, So most of their matches were pretty much all their matches were in England. Pretty much.
Now, you know more than I do. Based
Wembley.
on like England's performance leading up to EuroCup.
Right.
Do you think they should have been in the bracket that allowed them to have as many home games as they did?
Well, the thing is, like, be honest with you, the way they played very well. But the thing is, Wales kept them to a draw in the group stage. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I'm like, whoa, Wales? That's like Grenada. That's like Grenada holding
Don't say Team USA because I know we can do it.
No,
because they're bad.
We could definitely.
Trinidad and Tobago could beat them on a wet field. Grenada could definitely do it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was gonna say like it'd be like
like we faced maybe Germany. And just
like who's our like I can't see we don't have Grenada. We don't have enemies. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So like Wales and England, they're like kind of they're enemies. You know what I'm saying?
But Wales is just typically not on the level of England, though.
It'd be like England and Scotland playing, and you know what I'm saying, and them coming to a draw. Like it shouldn't have happened. You know what I'm saying? So, but they did play in that bracket, and I'm gonna have to go back and look at how that bracket was made because it looks like France had their. Where they played was all in France, England. So I think it was like those major in the rankings, the world rankings, they got the favorite of.
And I can understand France. They're the defending World Cup champions. You know, teams like Germany and
I think Portugal.
I could kind of understand where they might have a home game here and there, but. My understanding was they had quite a bit of home games. In their bracket, and then the championship is in. Well, the semifinals was in Wembley, and the championship is going to be in Wembley also.
Yeah. So Wembley was always the.
Yeah, wherever it was going to be. The finals,
where it was going to end up being. So yeah, man. So, but yeah, it's going to be wild. It was Italy and England.
Yes, in Italy, who did they face? I can't remember.
Oh my gosh!
But that went to extra time and went to penalty kick.
Yeah, that went to extra time and everything.
Was it Spain?
Yes.
Spain. Yes. And one in penalty kicks.
You know, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard sometimes to catch some. Like last week, 2 weeks ago was a lot easier to catch the games because they had multiple games going on.
Yeah.
So it'd be one game and then the next one like an hour later. So it's easier to catch games during working. But, and had the TV on and you kind of like look off and then next I'm in a meeting and I'm like, oh man, I'm missing the game. But I'm going to definitely try to catch the final.
Who do you think is going to win the final?
Oh man. Like, my Caribbean side wants to say England. It's gonna be tough, man. But I kind of want to say Italy, man. For some reason, I want to say Italy. But I'm gonna save my Caribbean side and go with England.
When I saw Prince William in the crowd, I was like, "Yeah, I hope England loses."
What game was that? I forgot what game it was. It wasn't Denmark. It was one of the other matches when the crowd was like booing during the national anthem of I forgot who they were playing, but they did beat them by I think a close game too. I can't think who it was, but they showed William and I was like, this Bama's gonna be the reason why they lose right here.
This Bama, yep. Sha'Carri Richardson, she was going to Tokyo Games to compete. Track and field, had the great U.S. trials performance, but unfortunately failed a drug test for marijuana. She was suspended for 30 days, which would have voided her opportunity of competing for the 100 meter event, which was the big event, which is the big event in all of track and field. She would have been facing Shelly Ann Fraser of Jamaica and the sorts of that caliber. Well, unfortunately, she would not be there. And then news came out yesterday that she would not even go and compete for the 4x100 relay or 4x4. I think it was 4 by
4 by
100 she
100.
was in.
Yeah, 4 by 100.
So she won't even be competing in that one. Sha'Carri Richardson owned up to her mistake. She said, look, as many of you all know, my mother passed away the week of the trials. I was stressed out. I smoked marijuana, and I take full ownership of it. End statement. This is my issue with the whole thing. The people who are the furthest away from track and field or sports in general are the loudest on this and just saying, oh my goodness, why is she not on the team? How dare they go after her? How dare they not? And I'm just like, look.
They didn't go after her.
They did not go after her.
They didn't go after her.
It was part of the normal drug testing at the U.S. trials.
Yeah.
And she failed it. And she consumed a substance that stays in your body a lot longer than alcohol.
Yep.
And I understand she was going through a trying time. Look, condolences to her and her family for that. You are also an Olympic caliber athlete. You cannot do drugs.
Right.
So end the story.
End of story.
I don't care how stupid the law is.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, the rule isn't even an American rule.
No, it's a world.
It's a world
rule. World doping.
And the world is still not kind on marijuana. Yes, we may have 20 states in the United States that are good with it.
For certain amounts of use.
For certain amounts of use.
It's still a federal crime.
And certain activities with it.
Right.
The world is still not cool with it.
Right.
So you have to abide by the rules. It's a terrible... Yes, I would like marijuana not be part of it, because marijuana, we know the effects of it, and
it's not a performance enhancing.
It's not a well. It's not a performance enhancing.
Right.
But I did speak to a track and field athlete, and he did say it is a masking agent. They did say marijuana is a masking agent.
They've been saying marijuana is a masking agent for years. It's also the gateway drug to cocaine and stuff like that. Come on, man. Stop it. Just stop it.
This is one thing WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency or Association, I don't know what the last A it stands for. They did just a couple years ago increase the THC threshold 10 times.
Yeah.
It was only 15 nanograms.
Right.
Which is like, I mean, airplane pilots can have more in their system and fly a plane. But they increased it to 150. I'm not a marijuana or THC expert. I don't know what it should be.
I don't know what the nanograms and all that's supposed to be. I just know you just smoke it, and if it's in your drugs, the
nanograms is the concentration of it, kind of like blood alcohol count. For alcohols. So.
But yeah, I'm still on the thing of like, if it's in my system and they test for it and it's there, like I lose my job. That's just plain and simple.
Yeah,
and it don't matter. It don't matter how much or how little is in there. You just lose your job.
Not only that, it was a poor decision of her to do it the week of the trials. I understand what she's going through.
I blame her team. Be honest with you. I blame those around her. Because there was obviously, her family was still around her at that time. Like, y'all know what's in store. Like, you know what she's doing right now. Like, come on. Don't get me wrong. It was a loss. Whether how close or how far her mother was from her is her mother, regardless. But those people, you got the wrong people around you. You really got the wrong people around you if they're going to allow you to smoke marijuana. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what's sitting there waiting in front of you to happen. Like, we're talking like you going to the Olympics, most likely winning the Olympics, and everything that comes to a result of that afterwards. Now, mind you, people have been trying to compare this with Michael Phelps, with the whole Michael Phelps bong picture situation. Now, mind you, folks, Michael Phelps was caught in a picture of him smoking a bong after the Olympics. No, this is 6 weeks after the Olympics. Caught in this picture. They asked him if there was marijuana in the bong. He said yes. That's true. This was in there. He was never tested and got a 3-month suspension. Not 30 days. 3 months. When he got off that suspension, he had about 2 weeks. I think he had about 2 weeks to swim in the World Championships. So, like right now, everybody's, talking about Olympics and she's not going to be able to make it. First of all, she didn't get the 3-month ban, which there's no chance of her going to the Olympics. But she got the 30 days instead of the 3 months. And now she still has time to train World Championships, which are basically on the same level as the Olympics. Without all the crazy fanfare.
Yeah, I mean, in track and field, world champion.
Yeah, world champion is just
obviously you want to win an Olympic gold, but you
right,
want to win more. You
yeah,
want to win more world championships.
Yeah, world championships is the thing. But then on the other side is also, folks, everybody's like, oh my God, they won't even put her in the 4x100. What people don't realize is that once they suspended her, she no longer won the 100. Those scores, everything was disqualified. But because of what happened, there was still a possibility, because in the 4x100, after the first 3, the 4th one is picked. Like, you don't have to be, because usually in the Olympics, like the 100, there's only 3 that go.
Yeah.
There's not a 4th person that goes. So U.S. track and field could have picked her to be that anchor or whatever for the 4x100. But then again, you got to think about it. With her, with that suspension, she's technically not eligible to even be picked for the 4x100. So I don't know what y'all like all up in arms about.
I'm going to add this. I'm going to add this also. Because she's suspended, she cannot train with U.S. track and field.
Right.
So now we're talking about rapport with the other 3 sprinters. So what? You're just going to show up in Tokyo,
right, and
just be like, "Yeah, I'm here. Let's go." She's good. She's great at what she does, obviously.
Right.
But there's still something about rapport
with especially with the 4x100.
Yeah, like passing that baton is not easy.
No, not at all.
It is not easy. Talking about the Olympics, word just came out earlier today that the Olympics will be played with no spectators.
Yeah.
Japan, which I didn't know until this, only 15% of the country is fully vaccinated. I would have thought more.
I wonder if they're still waiting for vials from us for some reason. Which makes no sense. But
I would think Japan is
just saying.
They're big enough to get their own. Like I would think.
Right.
You would think that, but hey, And I don't know about the cultural or societal views on vaccinations in Japan. I don't know. The United States, I believe now we are up to 65% are at least one vaccine. And I think it's something like 50% are fully vaccinated, something like that.
Yo, it's weird because I seen something the other day and they were like, yo, they have the data showing like basically counties that voted for Trump. But they could tell who's been vaccinated, the levels of who's been vaccinated there or not. And it's like, it's terrible.
Actually, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that coming up in our sports free zone. That's actually a good topic.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Also, real quick, and actually, no, we can just go to our very next segment. We can just go to our champ and chump of the week. We celebrate those who do well.
Wow, winning.
And criticize those who don't.
Loser! You're a loser! Are you feeling sorry for yourself? Well, you should be, because you are dirt!
It's our champ and Chump
Now this guy's a chump.
of the week.
Let's go.
We-
Let's go, champ.
It's our champ and chump of the week, where we celebrate those that do well and we criticize those that do not. Starting with you, Big Thad, who's your champ of the week?
My champ of the week is Shohei Ohtani of the LA Angels. Yo,
Yep.
like real talk. So he's leading MLB with 32 home runs. He's become the first Japanese player to do as many home runs in a season so far, beating Hideki Matsui. And he was also voted as an all-star in the All-Star game as a two-way player.
Yeah, man.
As a pitcher and DH. He got voted for both positions. That's dope. I don't know when's the last time somebody has that has happened.
Last time we could probably, I'm just guessing.
70s
Probably.
maybe?
I don't even think that. I'm thinking something as far back as like the 30s or 40s.
Oh, geez.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
When you think
You might
about
be
the
right.
two-way like dominant
Yeah.
players, like Babe Ruth was the 20s, but like
yeah.
I'm thinking 30s or 40s, man. My champ of the week, and honestly, I gotta look up his name. I gotta get the
son,
right
you-
pronunciation.
You wrote it.
Andre Vasilevsky.
Okay.
Goaltender for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let me tell you, the Tampa Bay Lightning won their back-to-back Stanley Cup title. Not only that, he didn't let the Canadians really score at all.
Yeah.
He didn't let them score at all, man. Played a phenomenal series, and also there was another stat. I think in elimination games that they faced,
Right.
he had consecutive shutouts.
Yeah. Yo, I think I think they let Toronto win. No, because they let Vancouver win that one game.
Montreal, yeah.
Montreal win. You know what I'm saying? Vancouver, Montreal, Toronto. It's
I
all the same.
was
It's all
confused. I was like,
Canadians.
why? Why is Montreal and Tampa in the finals? But for this year only, they went back to the old structure of like having just the divisions instead of the East and West with the divisions.
Right.
They went back for just this season. They did it for COVID reasons, for travel and things like that. But I mean, do you like that, where the old setup where it's based on just divisions, and I think it was the top 4 seeds from each division made it, so 16 teams, and then they played within their divisions. Then at the semifinals, they reseeded,
Right.
and that's how you ended up having 2 Eastern Conference teams being in the finals.
I think it's the reseeding that weirds me out with it, more so the division stuff. But I mean, it is what it is. But I don't know. I think it's. Can you say they're the 2 best teams in hockey? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can say maybe
can we say
Tampa
that?
for sure.
Yeah.
They've been from beginning to end.
It's just so weird.
team.
Tampa
Yeah,
being a hockey team.
yeah.
You know
But
what
they've
I'm
had
saying?
the culture for like the last
Yeah.
20 years when you think about
Yeah.
it. They're just always
just weird,
the
yeah.
fan base is there, but just a
Yeah.
warm weather city.
Right. It's so weird. Man.
It's
so
also weird because the excuse for the Tampa Bay Rays is, well, there's too much other good things to do in Tampa,
Don't watch
so
the
that's
game.
why the Rays don't get attendance. But I'm like, yeah, but you got people indoors at a hockey game in Florida.
Right.
Like, that's funny. Big Thad, who is your chump of the week?
My chump of the week is Tyson Fury's camp.
Cause you're a chump.
Yo, so they were supposed to fight Wilder in a couple of weeks. It's not looking like that's going to happen because Tyson Fury, there's an outbreak, COVID-19 outbreak in Tyson Fury's camp right now.
Wow.
So it's looking like it won't be until September or October for when this match happens.
I am about to judge a book by its cover, so giving you that warning. Tyson Fury looks like the type to not be taking precautions during a pandemic.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
none of this is a shocker to me.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Does not shock me.
My man tasted homeboy's blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. COVID-19? Yeah.
That's
what
nothing. I licked a man's blood off of it. That's nothing. COVID-19. My chump of the week is Rachel Nichols and ESPN.
Because you're a chump.
We mentioned everything in the first segment, so there's no point rehashing everything all over again. Let's now get into our sports-free zone where we take a break from sports. Hurricane Elsa, and I know in the rundown I put Elma, but it's Hurricane Elsa.
It's Elsa.
Hurricane Elsa is now a tropical storm. We're supposed to be getting, was it today or is it later that we were supposed to get this rain from it?
I think
it did rain a little hard earlier.
We've been getting the past couple of days we've been getting little spurts around the same time period. Like 2:30, 3, 4, you know what I'm saying?
So we're becoming like Florida.
Spurts of weird rain and then it's hot again. Yeah. So I think we're getting some of it. But you know how it is here. It's only once in a while that we actually get something out of some hurricane or tropical storm that comes here. Like they tell us from the break it's going to come here and then it doesn't happen. And then some weird things happen that turns in on us. So we just got to wait until it happens.
So in the DMV, we're supposed to be getting rain starting sometime tonight. And it's supposed to rain literally until I think nearly most of the day tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But it's the weird thing is it's not a tropical storm, but there's no water. It's inland and it's still a tropical storm. That's the weird thing.
Yeah, that always happens every once in a while. Yeah.
That is so long because it's been inland for a while now. You would think it would have died out already because you need water. These storms need water to keep on going. And,
well, I mean, with the moisture in the air and all that stuff, so, and man. It's almost like it's basically like a tornado with moisture in the air.
Jeez,
you know what I'm saying? It's just
so I'm looking at the Weather Channel app right now, and we haven't even gotten like that yet. Like it hasn't come here yet, and it's supposed to hit really like the Ocean City area. But, because we're not that far, we'll at least get remnants, what they call remnants of it. Other news outside of sports, there was an assassination in Haiti. Yeah. The interim prime minister or president was assassinated in his home. There was some concerns about his safety within the last few weeks. But he was assassinated in his home. Some people think it's an inside job. Some people think there's rumors about it being mercenaries.
Yeah, foreign mercenaries.
Foreign mercenaries.
Yeah.
According to the security that was there, they said they came in and said they were the DEA.
Yeah,
they were speaking in English and Spanish.
Yeah.
There's some video of them getting into the residence. They did say some of the mercenaries were killed by the Haitian military, but I mean, this is real messy. There's a lot of turmoil. There was, look, I'm gonna be real. Whatever comes out of this, I'm not gonna be shocked because politics is a dirty game. I know that,
especially down there.
I won't be shocked if the U.S. was part of it, even though they've come out and said that the DEA was not down there.
I mean, they do have a office down there, but
I mean, they got offices everywhere. But I'm just saying, like,
no, I mean, this is very recent that they've had an office in Haiti.
Oh, okay,
yeah, not like the usual like embassy type stuff where the DEA is there. You know what I'm saying? But
if it's another nation that came in there, I won't be shocked either. If it was a paramilitary group within Haiti, I would not be surprised. I do need to read up more on it.
It might have been the DR, son. You know what I'm saying? It might have been the DR. They right there. You know what I'm saying?
Haiti was coming under some trouble because they haven't had a general election in a while. You had that last year. The price of gas and oil went up, even though there was some agreement with other Caribbean nations with the handling of gas and oil. Somehow the price went up. So, yeah, man.
It's that whole oligarchical, the oligarchy, whatever you want to call it.
And then, you know, the whole, like you mentioned, just this situation brought up the whole thing again of how Haiti is paying France for defeating France to gain independence, like colonialism. Yes. I was just tongue tied there. Yeah, man. Breaking news. There was an earthquake somewhere in California not too long ago. Yeah. 5 point something.
Oh, that's weak.
5.9 on the Richter scale.
That's weak. That's weak for California.
I mean,
for California, it's weak.
Yeah. I mean,
Here?
we had a 5. I mean, even when we had ours here, it was a
we had
6,
a 3.
No,
we had a 3 something. Ours
You
was a
sure?
baby dog. Our joint was a baby joint, but because we're here, that's why we felt it that hard. Yeah, we never had it. You know what I'm saying? We never had a hurricane.
I remember.
Be honest with you,
exactly.
You remember where I lived on that farm?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So the thing with us was all we felt was our patio deck shaking a little bit and the dog running off, and we're like, "Yeah, I think we're having an earthquake."
Hold on,
you
man.
know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Ours was a 5.8.
Oh, it was?
It was.
Oh,
but still, I mean,
it was still kind of weak. It was still kind of weak though. But, but in DC, I heard people were like freaking out because those buildings weren't built for that. You know what I'm saying? So they were,
not necessarily. Yeah. Well, so I was speaking to an engineer.
Uh-huh.
And they said a lot of the buildings were equipped for something like what we had. It isn't equipped for like 9. Where in California they can take a 9.
They could take a 9 because everything moves with it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what happened in Trinidad when me and my mom and them. I got woken up by an earthquake, and I look up. I'm in bed. I look up and I just see the ceiling swaying, bro. And I was just like, "Is this joint gonna fall?" And I was talking to mom. She's like, "No, this is an earthquake." Blah 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 blah. And like it's literally built to move. You know what I'm saying? So that's the one thing where you got problems where like buildings come down or houses come down because they're not built to move with the earth. Yeah. So all that tension, it just snaps. You know what I'm saying? It crumbles.
So ours was a 5.8, and we actually are on a fault line. It's just you rarely ever. Yeah, that's when we learned that there is a fault line.
Well, I mean, I always knew there was a fault here. It just never moved like California and them. It was just the perfect spot right there in Virginia for that to happen.
Yeah, you mentioned the COVID cases when we were talking about the Olympics. I did look up the COVID cases for Maryland, and actually, I'm pulling it up right now. Maryland, yesterday was the first day that
no deaths.
I believe no deaths. And for the last week, the only deaths were unvaccinated people. So the numbers are getting better. The 7-day average is 65 now in the U.S. in Maryland.
Gotcha.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Like, do you understand the common flu? More people get the flu in Maryland now.
Yeah.
And just historically.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of people who get the flu every day.
Yeah.
But
everybody been home, son.
Yeah, a lot of people are vaccinated in Maryland also.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I was talking about the mask mandate, how it's kind of been. I understand we're doing better, but I feel like in the U.S. we kind of rush things. It's like we get a glimmer of hope, and then boom, like we just open everything up.
Look, I told you they were never going to close nothing back down again.
And that's the thing.
Because of money. It's because of money. They were never going to close it back down. So we knew eventually at some point they were going to just open back up because it wasn't going to be much longer that businesses were going to be able to stay alive.
Breaking news again.
Uh-oh. What we got?
In the sports world, though, Tyson Fury tests positive for
Nice.
COVID-19.
I knew it. Yes.
And like you
Here we
said,
go.
the fight has been postponed now, officially.
Officially postponed.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
But you mentioned, I do want to, so Maryland, and look, Maryland is, in the grand scheme of it, still a, I guess, population-wise, where would you say, on the, where do we rank in population? I'm going to look that up real quick. Maryland.
In population?
Yes, in the U.S.
Ooh. Well, I can.
And the thing about it, also with population, you got to think about population density, though. Because Maryland's a small state, but we have a decent population because of cities like Washington, D.C. and Baltimore. I'm going to put U.S.
I don't know. I want to say we're not even in the top 10 for some reason.
No, we're not in the top 10.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Because I want to see these numbers. U.S. states
What
by population.
What numbers you trying to figure out?
I'm trying to see how we rank and then how our numbers are proportionate to other states with the...
Well, you doing too much right now.
Because...
I mean, I understand, but this is something we gotta come together and put up a Excel sheet.
Because Maryland is
Excel
ranked
spreadsheet.
19th.
See, I knew we were in top 10.
I didn't think we were that high though. I honestly thought we were lower, to be honest. I thought we were lower.
Is it based on density or is it just
It's based on population.
Just population itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the cities.
Yeah.
It's by far because of the cities.
So we're 19th. I do want to then look at the COVID cases just like around the U.S. because I believe COVID cases were still high, like around the country.
Yeah, we're still high. It's just that certain areas are just higher than normal because
like
not getting vaccinated.
The 7-day average is still 15,000.
Yeah.
And if you're telling me,
I mean, you 15,000 out of how many we got here? 375 million.
Yeah, in the country around that. Yeah.
15,000 not a lot.
It's not a lot, but it's just the spread is still.
I mean, it really depends on how you. That's why you gotta get the breakdown of states and all that stuff.
And that's the thing. I'm trying to California. I don't know what their. Let me look up California. California's current. What is California's current case?
You said 15,000 was the average.
It's the 7-day average, meaning every day 15,000 people are being are testing positive of COVID-19.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I think nationwide it's still like. There was a immunologist who did say, look, for us to really get back to pre-pandemic, it has to drop down to like, I think it said 1 in every like 100,000.
Have to be vaccinated.
No, one case out of every 100,000 in the country.
Oh.
Like the country.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when you extrapolate that to 370.
We ain't going back
million.
to normal, son.
Well, this is about to be. I think it's just going to be
the new normal is just what we're going through right now.
For us to get back to normal, honestly, we just need to.
I don't even remember what normal was.
Control. Look, COVID's going to be here, just like the common flu. The common flu, the flu came and it's here. It's been here. It's going to adapt. We just need to get used to having better health hygiene, and not just simply washing your hands, but just health hygiene where you go get tested, you go take your immunizations, things like that.
Right.
I do know most universities are requiring that that you be vaccinated before, and they're not doing online options now for this coming school year.
This is for students and employees.
So that's going to affect a lot of things. I think that's honestly what's going to help when you start forcing, like, in a way.
No, I mean, why not? What do you lose? You got nothing to lose, yo. Just get vaccinated. It is what it is. You're not gonna get like crazy sick or anything. So who cares? Like, I think the issue right now is people thinking that the government is gonna take over you.
Perfect.
You know,
That's all
like,
it is.
Like real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Even though the government's already taken over.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You
Like
know?
we've well past that point.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But no, you know what I'm saying? No, the government's taking our rights, so we got to not get vaccinated, blah, blah, blah. Like, dog. Like, even if there was some weird government project going on right now, and basically it was like, I think at one point they said, you know, population control, whatever. This would be the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, population control with people not getting vaccinated and those people dying or whatever. Like, who are you going to blame that? You can't really blame the government there, because you would think the conspiracy theory would be the government's putting someone in the vaccine and those people die. You know what I'm saying? But I think I don't know, man. It's just one of them things, man. It's like, just get vaccinated. Like, who cares, bro? Like, if you got the flu shot at some point in time of your life, you all right.
If you went to a public school at some point in your life,
facts,
you had to be vaccinated.
Facts.
Like
yo,
had to,
you
like,
literally went through 12 years of your life where you had to get vaccinated. Your parents had to take you to get vaccinated so you could just go to school. You know what I'm saying?
And before all of this, there were people who voiced their objections through the religious practices, but even those numbers weren't even high. Like, those numbers were so low, it was basically herd immunity.
Right.
The individuals who said, because of my religion, I do not vaccinate, they were protected because literally 90-something% of the students were vaccinated.
Right. All the students around them were vaccinated already.
The issue here is now we got 65%, and that's a big difference from 90-something%.
Right.
And that's why things are still spreading, because of this. You know, before we get out of this segment, what was the last thing that you did mention it earlier about the breakdown of county and
yeah,
COVID,
there was something I forgot where I was hearing it, but I'll have to relook for it. But basically they were saying that they have data showing the difference and the varying difference in data between counties that Trump won in the election and Biden. And it's like direct correlation. It's so wild. But I have to actually look it up because I just overheard it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had just overheard it on something and I wasn't really paying attention, but I overheard it and they were literally like, yo, there's like direct correlation between those vaccinated and unvaccinated and Trump counties and Biden counties. It's so wild, dude. I was like, yeah, they got data on everybody now. It's cool.
Wow.
It is what it is. I got nothing to hide, so yeah. Well, obviously I don't have nothing to hide because they hired me. So yeah.
Let's now get into our Reddit topic of the week. Every week we go on Reddit, find an interesting discussion, bring it here. There was a meme floating around. Dynamic duos, past and present. 4 teams, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Dallas Mavericks, Phoenix Suns, and Boston Celtics. For the 76ers, we have Allen Iverson and Joel Embiid. For the Dallas Mavericks, Dirk Nowitzki and Luka Doncic. For the Phoenix Suns, Charles Barkley and Devin Booker, and the Boston Celtics, Kevin Garnett and Jason Tatum. Who are you picking out of this, Big Thad?
Man, I'm still I would still say Iverson and Embiid for some reason.
And what's your reasoning for that?
I want to say one, it's Iverson's just how explosive he was, how quick he was. He was a really good passer also. And in the way that Embiid moves around the floor as a quote unquote center and how he shoots and stuff like that, I like them. I like them too. I would say Luka and Dirk second. Then I have to put Sir Charles and Booker, and then Tatum and Garnett. I think, but that kind of Tatum and Garnett. I think it's just because Tatum went to Duke.
I'll say this, and before I get to how I feel about the actual duos, Allen Iverson was not part of the 50 greatest players because he just wasn't. He had just gotten the league, but he's obviously a top 50 NBA player. Maybe even top 25. Maybe we'll discuss it at the end of the year when we do our ranking. For sure. At the same time, Allen Iverson is one of the most overrated basketball players out there.
Stop playing with my name.
Like
I ain't gonna say it no more.
The way people talk about Iverson, I'm just like, yeah, he's great. He's not as great as you all try to make it seem.
Wow.
Like I've heard many of people say,
I don't think he's like the best point guard ever. No, not at all. I just like how he played.
No, look, and that's what I feel like. A lot of people, they like how he played. They like what he brought to the NBA, the culture, the merging of the hip hop and NBA, tattoos, cornrows, nostalgia because we were young at that time. And at the same time, I'm like, yeah, the dude's stats ain't really come on. like I said, he's a top 25 player of all time, and at the same time is overrated. Like, both can be true. Now, if it comes to who I'm taking number one, honestly, I'm taking the Phoenix Suns duo. Charles Barkley. Because you got to remember, Charles Barkley in Phoenix was one of the best players in the league. And he actually won an MVP, rightfully. So I like him. He plays defense, can rebound. Devin Booker isn't trash on defense. He's decent enough. Lights out scorer. He's the best scorer on this panel. The best scorer.
You really think so?
Yeah, he's the best scorer. Like, he can score in multiple ways, unlike the rest of... Luka can score, but, I mean, he's not really efficient from three. As much as people try to hype up his three-point percentage, he's not really efficient. Allen Iverson's not efficient from three. Jason Tatum is a volume shooter. Devin Booker's just more efficient and can just do more. So that's why I would take the Phoenix Suns duo. But after that, I am taking the 76ers duo. Like, I'm taking them after that. Then I'm going to have to go Garnett and Tatum, and then Luka and Dirk. Luka and Dirk, there's no defense there. Them dudes are slow on the defensive end. And yes, Dirk is 7 feet tall, but if you can't, even in his prime, he wasn't really known to be someone that you had to really worry about on the defensive end. I think the rest of these guys you had to worry about. Even Iverson at his height, you had to worry that he's going to steal the ball from someone, either on ball or off ball.
He's shutting down Booker all day, all night long, all day long.
Booker is just jumping over him.
all day long. Iverson shutting him down. Booker's not even getting to the basket. Not even to the basket. It's not happening.
Oh man. So yeah, that's why I say your ranking again. What is it, Big Thad?
Philly. What did I do? Hold on.
I feel like you said.
I said Philly, Dallas. No,
I think you said Philly, Dallas.
Yeah, I did.
Phoenix.
Suns, yeah,
And
Boston.
and
because
Boston.
Boston because of Duke.
And my ranking is Phoenix, Philly, Boston, Dallas. So yeah, that is my ranking. Before we get out of here, Big Thad, any news coming out? You heard anything while we other than what we reported, the breaking news that we reported?
What are you talking about?
I know. I'm saying, have you seen anything that we might have missed?
No. Oh, Black Widow comes out tonight.
Oh yeah. I've seen it.
Black Widow comes out. That's breaking news. Black
You know
Widow.
me, I have no idea.
Marvel.
But Black
You
Widow
won't know.
is.
You won't know for another 10 years.
And then I'm gonna go on a tweet thread and be like, "Yo, this is so great! Like, go watch Black Widow, everyone."
He hasn't seen Iron Man 1 yet, so
I saw Iron Man 1. I saw 1 and 2 in the theaters.
see, there we go.
I think
Have you seen all the rest of them?
No, I didn't see the third. I literally saw Iron Man 1, 2, Black Panther. That's it.
Jeez, you ain't seen none of the Avenger movies?
I've never seen a single one of those.
What? See, there we go. How you go jump to? Well, I mean, no, you could jump to.
No,
Black
I
Panther.
just jumped to it
understand
just because for the culture. And the thing about it, it was easy to kind of follow. There wasn't too many like.
that. Come on, dude. It's a. Oh, never mind. I'm not even starting with you. I'm not starting with you today.
Mind you, I'm not saying Look, you should
I'm
be
not
happy.
sorry.
I'm not. You should be happy that I'm not saying Marvel movies are trash because I don't.
No,
That's
it's
one thing
not.
I will not say. I don't think they're trash at all. I just haven't seen them.
They would torture you on Twitter saying something like that, bro.
Yeah,
they would literally go after you.
Even as someone who has not seen them, I know based on literally the 3 I've seen, I can't say Marvel movies are trash because all 3 of them were really good.
Yeah.
And then but I think at some point you have to. How about this?
What's up?
I'm not gonna watch it soon, but I think you need to compile the list of how I should watch them in order because everyone's list is different
in order.
of how
Yeah,
to
yeah,
watch
I
them in
got you.
order, so I can watch them in sequential order instead of just when they came out.
I got you.
So I can fully understand. Because as someone coming in late, I might get confused if I watch them out of order.
It's like you watching episode 3, 4, and 5 and jumping around.
Then go into Rogue and then be like,
Right,
hold on,
Rogue
there's
and
a
like,
1,
wait.
2, and 3 also.
Right.
Yeah,
What?
no.
Yeah.
So compile a list for me, so I
For
can,
Marvel movies.
Yeah,
You
so
want
I
me
can watch
do?
them
You want me to do
sequential.
You want me to do Star Wars too for you?
Nah, Star Wars. I feel like no. So I saw episode 1, 2.
With Jar Jar and all them? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
you
1
that.
and 2. I know what happens in 3. I didn't go to the movie. That's the problem. I didn't go to the theater to see the third one.
Oh, gotcha.
So I never actually saw the third one. But I know what happens. And then obviously the original
4, 5, and
3,
6.
4, 5, 6 I saw.
Yeah.
I saw Lord of the Rings 1 and 2 in theater, and I'm halfway through the third. I just haven't finished it. I know the ring gets there at some point.
Bruh.
Like, I know it gets there. I just
Christ.
haven't seen how it gets there.
Yo, you were wild, son.
And that's the thing.
Jeez.
It's really because I would not go to the theater.
See, that's the
And then
thing,
because I
man.
didn't
You-
go, then I just wouldn't see it. And then sports will be on, and I'll be like, all right, let me watch sports, or let me play video games or let me watch a documentary before I watch a movie, or let me binge this TV show before I watch a movie, because the movie will be there forever.
No, I got you. Yeah.
Big Thad, thank you for everything that you do.
Yes,
Shout out to OSS 980. Shout out to Soggy Nacho, Shut Your Face, Curls and Sports. She's been throwing shade at me indirectly on Instagram, and I say that
since last
jokingly.
week?
No, actually, I didn't even show. I say that jokingly because she talks about the Dallas Cowboys. So
Oh, okay.
that's why I say indirectly she's throwing it at me. Shout out to Karina Parks, who had a very great statement when it comes to public relations perspective with Rachel Nichols. Make sure you go follow her. Shout out to everyone else who watches us, the Dual Exchange, Guys Unpack podcast. Yep. Until next time, everyone. Sports reality. Peace.
Peace.
Automodels to the floor right now. Automodels to the floor right now. What? Automodels to the floor right now. Automodels to the floor right now. What?